Good morning, Rao sir.
Very good morning. Very good morning.
Good morning. This is short-term. We will start the program.
Yeah, so please go ahead, Dr. Subrato. So unless
Right. Four chairs. Students, put on your mask. Put on your mask. Honorable VC sir, with the kind permission, shall we commence the program?
Yeah, if all of them, go ahead. Already, I think we have taken some time, to setting up things. I think quickly you should move on.
Right, sir.
We have a lot of people that have joined through the video conference route also. Let's not keep on waiting.
It was rightly said by Douglas MacArthur, a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen the needs of others. He doesn't set out to be a leader, but become one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. Honorable Vice Chancellor, ICFA University, Jharkhand, Professor O.R.S. Rao sir, respected Registrar sir, Professor Arvind Kumar, Assistant Dean of Faculty of Management Studies, Dr. Bhagwat Barik sir, today's speaker and guest, Professor Divyendu Nandi, ICFA Business School, Kolkata, former Head Strategy, JSW Cement, and all head of departments, dear faculty colleagues, and all my dear students. Welcome you all to the Industry Talk series of today, workshop on leadership, a journey of exploring self on a blended mode. This is being conducted by ICFA University, Jharkhand, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, and Institutions Innovation Council, Ministry of Education initiative. Before initiating the industry talk by our today's guest, may I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir to address the gathering at the outset. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Subrata. Respected Dr. Subir Chattopadhyay, Professor Arvind Kumar, Registrar, Dr. Bhagwat Barik, Assistant Dean, all the faculty members of our university, and all the students. Students today, I could see that for the first time, a number of students, we can see them physically, they have joined in person. And we also have seen a lot of students joining through video conferencing. not only our regular students, but also our working professional students. Our working professional students, from the MBA. We also have got some of the LLB students. So a very good morning to all of you. So it's very thoughtful of the university to have a workshop to engage all of us on a very interesting topic, that is the leadership. In fact, all of us coming from the kind of a management, we know the difference between a manager and a leader. So as for the manager is concerned, yes, there are certain specific tasks that are given. These are the things, starting with planning, managing, coordinating, so many things that are there. But as far as the leadership is concerned, there's a human dimension involved into that. There's a people dimension that is involved into that. That's where a person, with all the knowledge and skills, apart from the hard skills, a leader needs to have a lot of soft skills, that is leadership skills. That is understanding people, taking people along, so that what all the leader wants to do, we must be able to accomplish as a team. Because sometimes a manager may say that he or she he can do with certain things himself, but a leader cannot do things himself. That's where this topic of understanding self becomes very important. Because irrespective of the age, irrespective of the experience, so a personality and a human being, is a self-evolving personality. No amount of knowledge or experience, like a substitute for the kind of exploration and experience. Typically, I think every one of us go through the process, whether it is a student, whether it is a faculty, whether it is a registrar or vice chancellor, anybody, every one of us will go through the process. Or rather, we should go through the process. If you're not doing it, we should do that. First, I need to explore myself and say, who am I, what am I? In fact, that is where, including our Vedics also, that's what they said, the first thing is know yourself. Unless we know yourself, we can't do anything in life. So first I need to explore myself. Then I keep on experimenting, because every situation is different. In every situation, I go through an experimentation into that. And every experimentation gives certain experiences, good or bad. They may be tangible, they may be intangible. So experiences के sort of experiment के बाद experience आते हैं. These experiences become part and parcel of myself. When I continue exploring, that is the kind of the back end store from where I keep on improving myself. And all of us look for exalting, and I want to kind of excel. Because excellence definitely something that all of us aspire, but yes, how much we achieve out of that, that is something it is left to us. That is part of my own explanation to that. So that is my understanding of today what we are talking about. And this is a journey. In fact, every leader has gone through a journey. And the journey is every one of the kind of leaders has got a story to tell. Story in the sense, I'm not talking something like, a movie story or story in a book. It's an experiential kind of a story where somebody narrates into that. How somebody has, gone through this entire processes and come out, to where he is or she is in terms of, the excellence or success or whatever we talk to that. So, in fact, some of you, like yesterday, you would have listened to the great, the teacher of, the marketing. And in fact, I saw Dr. Subhash Chattopadhyay was there, Dr. Barik was there. But of course, unfortunately, they didn't give the time. With the result, a lot of people kept on waiting from 2:30. Ultimately, it was at 6 o'clock. Initially, I logged in, and after that, I sort of logged in back, around 6 o'clock. Initially, it was supposed to be half an hour, but after that, it took 1 hour. And we could see the kind of the intellects, the leaders, their thinking process into that. So that's where sort of I'm referring to the kind of a guru of marketing. Those of you that did not have an opportunity to listen to him. I'm talking about Philip Kotler. To be honest with you, it is for the first time I'm listening to him live. I read quite some of his books, but that's totally different from sort of listening to him in person. To that, his thoughts and how he orchestrates the thoughts, in terms of his own, how he has taken the kind of marketing journey into the sort of a C's and P's and whatnot into that. Then he comes to what is called a H2H marketing, a human to human. I think that's where, when we're talking about leadership, I think that is the kind of a dimension that is bringing in from processes into the humans into that. I think that is where our journey of, a management to kind of leadership, I think that is the journey what we are taking through into that. So for this, we couldn't have had a person better than, Mr. Dibyen Nandi. He has gone through the journey himself, though in fact, most part of the kind of experience has been to the cement. He was with the ACC Cement, then after the JSW, not only kind of donning the marketing roles, but also in leadership roles and strategy roles into that. So I would keenly look forward to kind of listening to him and his kind of journey of the sort of starting with the exploring to the excellence into that. So with these few words, over to the organizers to continue.
Thank you, sir, for your guidance. Now, a professional having a dynamic career of over 25 years with experience in industry and academia. Yes, today's guest speaker is Professor Dibyendu Nandi. Presently working as faculty, management and operations with ICFI Business School, Kolkata. Previously worked with JSW Cement Limited, ACC Limited, Berger Paints, TNS Softwares, Mode, and IILM. Also have been a visiting faculty to IISWBM and IBM, Jadavpur University. A civil engineering graduate from Indian Institute of Engineering, Science and Technology, Shibpur, with a post-graduation in management from TAPI Management Institute. He entered certifications on strategic leadership from Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, certification on marketing analysis and customer valuation from Indian Institute of Management, Kashipur. Conducted several workshop and training programs for many organizations like AstraZeneca, Tata Motors, Mitsubishi Chemicals, CESC Limited, JSW, and Antrio. We welcome you, sir, from ICFI University, Jharkhand, and we are eagerly waiting for your speech. Thank you so much. So please come.
It's a kind of a very elaborate introduction. I do not know how much it deserved. The first and the foremost thing that I would like to start with is that I would like to thank sincerely from my bottom of my heart to Professor O.S. Rao, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, our Registrar, sir, Barik, sir, Victor, sir, and all faculty members over here for giving me the opportunity to speak before you. And also to my colleagues, because I am also a PhD scholar with ICFI University, Jharkhand. So I am also coming home actually. So it's not nothing new for me. So maybe that I'm visiting this particular place for the second time that I'm coming over here, but it's not a new place for me. So thank you all, and also the students who have been here, assembled over here after a long hiatus, I would say, because of the COVID and everything that has happened. Now that we are back, and we are back in the normal mode, so it's very, heartening to see that all people, all students are over here. So thank you, and thank you especially actually for organizing that. I think you gave me such a kind of introduction. So the topic today is leadership. And the leadership, when we look at, I look at from two different perspectives. One perspective that I'm looking at is as a person I'm looking at. And since as a person we have been working and joining, and we would all be joining the students over here in some organization, maybe in some months to go, you would be also operating under certain conditions, some kind of environment. So that's a kind of an organizational environment that we do. So when you operate in a different kind of environment from academics, when you're doing, you're finishing your 2 years, whatever your course that you're doing, and when you're going to work in the company setup is different, the external environment is different, and you have to cope up with that kind of situation that you have to. So in that context, also we look at what the organization context would look like. How would you actually, be there and continue to grow? Now we'll start because when we talk about a lecture session, I do not take lectures and I do not give lectures. So I don't do that. It is a dialogue that has to happen. It is an interaction that has to happen. And it is not that I will be just saying something and you will be all listening. Only it cannot be a patient listener. It has to be someone who will also interact. And normally during this particular type of stations that I have a lot of videos. That's a kind of audio visual media which even makes it more interesting, I believe. And that will be there plenty that I can assure you at the start itself. So hope you can join also along with me. There has to be some kind of interactions from you. Okay, so I'll start with the interaction moment itself. Yeah, so can we go to the first one? Now, I want to ask the august audience over here. The very simple question is that how many of you think that you are a leader? How many of you think that you are a leader? Then raise your hand. It's nothing that someone is right or someone is wrong. There's nothing right or wrong. So I got one guy, who thinks he's the only one. Nobody else thinks himself or herself to be a leader. Don't you think to be a leader? No, yes. Okay, I have got one at least who thinks that he is a leader. So now my next question is, why do you think yourself to be a leader? I motivate myself. You motivate yourself, okay, do the work. Do the work. So it's self-motivation that we're talking about. Anything else? Anyone else can also join now that he has spoken up. Everyone can feel free to actually give their views, his or her views on this. So self-motivation. So self-motivation is something which is talking about. So, when we look at this, we find there will be some kind of qualities that a leader needs to have. Which qualities तो होना चाहिए? क्या qualities होना चाहिए? वो हमको देखना तो पड़ेगा. But honestly, when we ask this question, जैसे मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आप सब लोगों को कि आप मानते हैं कि आप लीडर है? तो एक ही हाथ ऊपर उठा और बोला कि हाँ मैं मानता हूँ कि मैं लीडर हुई. Everyone over here, सब लोग, is expected to be a leader. every one of us is expected to be a leader. आप, मैं पूछता हूँ आपको, आप सब लोग तरक्की करना चाहते हैं?
Yes, sir.
चाहते हैं ना? You want to grow?
Yes, sir.
So everyone wants to grow. So everybody wants to, be a leader. Expects to be a leader. Everybody wants to grow. और ये ग्रोथ जिसके बारे में मैं बोल रहा हूँ, वो क्या ग्रोथ होता है? वो एक होता है कि as you when you were born, from there now you have grown up. That is something which we all observe. सब लोग ये देखते हैं कि it's a physical growth which happens. Physical growth के अलावा there is a mental growth which also happens. Something that we have emotionally, हम लोग grow करते हैं. सब कुछ होता है. So mentally, physically, emotionally, सब लोग grow करते हैं. ये तो अपनी पर्सनल लेवल की बात कर रहा हूँ. अगर आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जाओगे, वहां काम करोगे, तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की तरक्की करना चाहेंगे कि नहीं? तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अगर तरक्की करना चाहेंगे, तो उनको भी कुछ ना कुछ मेजर्स उनको देखना पड़ेगा, कुछ तो यार्डस्टिक होंगे. तो लोग सोचते हैं क्या होगा, मेरा सेल्स बढ़ेगा, मेरा टर्नओवर बढ़ जाएगा, मेरा मार्केट शेयर बढ़ेगा, मेरा प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी बढ़ जाएगा. So that is where the organizations also look at, in terms of the growth. A person also looks at in terms of the personal growth. We look at also the organization. In the organization we talk about, it talks about the organizational growth. There are certain measures on which the organizations are being, evaluated. लेकिन ये बात तो है, हर लोग तरक्की करना चाहते हैं, ग्रोथ करना चाहते हैं, कि हर लोग ग्रोथ कर पाते हैं या नहीं पाते? सब लोग ग्रो कर जाते हैं? हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ग्रो करता है? तो कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ग्रो करता है, कुछ इंडिविजुअल्स ग्रो करते हैं, कुछ नहीं कर पाते. तो कुछ ना कुछ कारण, कुछ ना कुछ वजह होगी. एक कंसल्टेंसी फर्म कुछ रिसर्च की, उसका नाम है बैन एंड कंपनी. उन्होंने एक रिसर्च के बाद मुझे देखा कि जो सस्टेनेबल ग्रोथ के बारे में मैं बोल रहा हूं, यानी कि हर साल डबल डिजिट का ग्रोथ होना चाहिए, ये अगर 9 कंपनी में सिर्फ एक कंपनी कर पाए, यानी 11% इसका सक्सेस रेट. 1 out of 9 companies that we look at, they go sustainably. Double digit का growth होता है year-on-year basis. इसकी मतलब है कि सब कंपनी नहीं कर पाते, कुछ कंपनीज कर पाते हैं, कुछ इंडिविजुअल्स कर पाते हैं, सब इंडिविजुअल्स नहीं कर पाते. तो कैसे ये सारे कंपनीज जो ग्रो करते हैं नहीं कर पाते, जो इंडिविजुअल्स ग्रो करते हैं, जो नहीं ग्रो कर पाते हैं, तो कोई डिफरेंसेस तो हो. So we'll try to find out what kind of differences could be there. When we look at the growth of the organization, जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की ग्रोथ के बारे में मैं बोल रहा हूं, तो उसमें मेरे को दिखता है कि जैसे ग्रोथ होता है तो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज बढ़ जाती है. पहले आपको एक प्रोडक्ट था, फिर उसके बाद हमने देखा कि ग्रो कर लिया, दूसरा प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में है. पहले एक रीजन पे आपके ऑपरेट कर रहा था, फिर दूसरे रीजन पे ऑपरेट कर रहे थे. पहले इतना लोग काम कर रहे थे, अभी बहुत सारे लोग काम कर रहे हैं. तो मैनेज करना भी एक मुश्किल काम हो जाएगा. So as the organizations grow, the complexities also grow, and growth leads to complexities. और यहाँ पे पैराडॉक्स भी है, वो है अगर बहुत सारी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज हो जाता है तो वो ग्रोथ को खत्म कर देता है, यानी it kills growth. This is a paradox. Growth actually leads to complexities, but when it becomes very complex in nature, it also kills the growth. तो कैसे इसको मैनेज करें? तो आप देखेंगे जैसे जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बढ़ जाता है, तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की कुछ रूल्स, कुछ प्रोसीड्यूर्स, कुछ ऑपरेटिंग मैनुअल्स ऐसे वगैरह होते हैं जो सबके लिए सेम होता है, यानी कि एक स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर जो एसओपी हम उसको बोलते हैं वो हो जाते हैं, ताकि सब लोगों को ये सिंपल बना दिया जाए. So as we try to have more complexities, we also try to simplify it out in order to maintain that kind of control by the complexities. So that is also which is happening. Now, अगर ये होता है तो हमारा एजेंडा क्या रहेगा? हमारा एजेंडा रहेगा जितना सिंपल हो सकता है उतना सिंपल रखे सब चीजों को. हालांकि ये संभव नहीं होता है, लेकिन कोशिश तो होना चाहिए कि हम इस चीज को और से सिंपल रखें. नाउ जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ग्रो करते हैं तो इनका लीडरशिप जो होता है, तो लीडर्स होते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में, वो कुछ क्वालिटीज एग्जीक्यूट करता है. क्वालिटीज कुछ ऐसे हैं वो एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं, उसमें 3-4 चीज जो आप देख रहे हैं वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. जैसे कि पहले हमने लिखा है वेलोसिटी, we talked about something called agility, adaptability, responsiveness, ऐसे कुछ चीजें हैं. Now this is very what we say कठिन शब्द वहां पे लिख दिया गया है. It's nothing very different, very out of the world kind of thing. ऐसा नहीं. अब लोग सब लोग वेलोसिटी के बारे में जानते हैं. क्या होता है वेलोसिटी? स्पीड तो है, पर स्पीड और वेलोसिटी के साथ होता है कुछ, उसका एक डायरेक्शन होता है. स्पीड के साथ कुछ डायरेक्शन होगा तो वेलोसिटी होगा. तो स्पीड तो आपने पकड़ ली है, लेकिन कहां किस दिशा में आप मूव करेंगे, अगर ये आपको पता नहीं है तो आप गलत रास्ते पे चले जाएंगे. हालांकि आपका स्पीड बहुत अच्छा. So when we look at that thing, we need to have a speed and a direction which is both important over here. Agility is something when the external environment is changing. वो dynamics है. आपको जो बाहर का जो external environment है वो change हो रहा है, हमेशा change हो रहा है. तो उसमें अगर आप जल्दी से जल्दी उसको adapt करते हैं, your fleet-footedness, that is basically your agility to move. Adaptability is definitely when you look at बाहर का जो स्थिति है, उससे हमारा काम कैसे मैं बनाऊंगा, कैसे चलेगा, ये हमारे कंपनी कैसे चलेगा, वो adaptability है. But responsiveness is something that I have to have. We listen to our customers, be responsive. उनका जो भी needs है, wants है, desires है, उसको हम कैसे लेंगे? ये लीडरशिप ये 4 क्वालिटीज को एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं. Now we talked about the growth of an organizational perspective. If we move on to the next one, and if we look at, can you go to the next one? ये जो इंडिविजुअल की ग्रोथ के बारे में बोल रहा हूं, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए ये 4 बहुत अहम चीज है. लेकिन अगर इंडिविजुअल के बारे में मैं पूछ रहा हूं तो इंडिविजुअल के लिए क्या क्या चाहिए? एज एन इंडिविजुअल आप लोग क्या सोचते हैं कि अगर आप तरक्की करना चाहते हैं तो आपके लिए क्या जरूरी है, क्या क्वालिटीज आपको होना चाहिए? ये तो आपको पता है, अगर लीडर हो या ना हो तो हम आएंगे बात. लेकिन आपको ये होना चाहिए, पता होना चाहिए अगर आप तरक्की करना चाहते हैं तो आपको क्या जरूरत है, क्या करने की जरूरत है. What qualities that you need to have? Time management. Okay, one thing that we have got is time management. Yeah. daring. I mean, something that you have to, a kind of attitude that you were talking about. What do you mean this? Yeah, someone said something. Okay. Well, let's down many of these qualities that we need to have, and we need to be looking at as an individual if you want to grow. अगर आप खुद तरक्की करना चाहते हैं, तो आपको सारे कुछ ना कुछ आपको करना पड़ेगा जो आपको वो that particular plane, that particular level तक आपको लेके जाए. We'll talk about these qualities. We'll look at what the leaders we are talking about, the kind of leadership that we all looking at. We'll be seeing what that is needs to be there in terms of the individuals. So can you just move to the next one? Yes. सवाल का एक ही जवाब आप मेरे ख्याल से होगा. Do you need to be a CEO of an organization in order to be a leader? ये जरूरी है क्या? अगर मैं लीडर बनना चाहूंगा तो मेरे किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का मुझे सीईओ बनना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, नहीं है ना? आंसर इज नो. If you go to the next question, obviously अगर मुझे ये करना पड़ेगा तो मुझे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हायरार्की जो होता है उसमें जाके ऊपर बैठना पड़ेगा. ये जरूरी है? ये भी जरूरी नहीं. I go to the third question, and the third question is that, do you need money? पैसे की जरूरत है कि हमको लीडर बनना? जरूरी नहीं है. Do you need a muscle? जो muscle power जो होता है लीडर बनने, नेता जो होते हैं नेतागिरी बनना नहीं होता है, लेकिन होता है. Sometimes it happens, but unfortunately, the leader term in the political context has totally changed its connotation, its meaning. वो थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट एंगल पे चला गया है क्योंकि हमको नेतागिरी करना है तो हमको कुछ ना कुछ वो मसल मानी देना होगा. And that has actually ruined us. अगर ये चारों में आपको जवाब नहीं है, नो, तो चले हम आपको एक वीडियो दिखाते हैं और वीडियो दिखाने के बाद हम आपको 3 सवाल पूछेंगे. ठीक है, पहले वीडियो देखते हैं, फिर उसके बाद 3 सवाल हम पूछेंगे.
नहीं होगा यार.
सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर. सर आइए सर. चल चल इधर जाओ. बोला क्या बात करता है, क्या ऊपर से जाएगा, क्या ऊपर से जा जा.
गया मेन शो.
I hate this country. कुछ करो ना.
अब मैं वहां जाके क्या उखाड़ लूंगा.
कैसी जाने बूंदे आई, जाने कैसा दर्द लाई, सामने क्या है ये तेरे, क्यों रुका है तू बता रे हो. पार लेगा कौन होगा वो मसीहा जिसे तू ढूंढता है तेरा रास्ता है
The start point. You have understood? That's all. What have you understood? It is not ended, but you have to stay. The boy took the right decision. He tried himself to remove that tree which was fallen on the road. Because if he would have not tried, nobody was coming in front to do that. So that's a very good observation, I must say. So my question, the three questions that I was asking,
तेरा है
let us see the video. Yeah.
है सहारा तू ही तुझको पार लेगा तू ही है तेरा किनारा तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है तुझ में तेरा है सहारा तू ही तुझको पार लेगा तू ही है तेरा किनारा जिसे ढूंढता है तू ही रे तेरा मसीहा हो
Good. So the question that I was thinking, and it's good that I already asked that question. Who is the leader? Who took the initiative? The small boy? छोटे तो बच्चा था वही initiative लिया. So you think he is the leader? Why do you think he is the leader? Was there to okay, या बताइए जी. एक क्वालिटीज इनिशिएटिव आपने बोला, ठीक है, इनिशिएटिव लिया, ओके. सेकंड डेयर, सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड. बोलो. Unity. Yes, sir. You say. Is that what you mean? और कुछ? Right decision. Actually, थोड़ा ना मैं खींचा सकता हूँ, पर जोर से बोलिएगा थोड़ी. Yeah. So that's why more or less that's what you have, you have told that आपने सबने बताया कि इसका लीडर को चुना है क्योंकि ये बंदा, he was the first one who takes the initiative, very daring. Right decision here. सब कुछ आपने बताया, very good. If we look at this particular board and we look at the leadership that we are talking about, the leadership की बात हम लोग कर रहे हैं, इसमें दो चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये जो बंदा आपने देखा है, this particular boy, it's a very little boy, small boy, hardly weighing something around 20 to 30 kilos, उससे ज्यादा नहीं होगा. और जो खुद जो पड़ा हुआ था बीच रास्ते, that was around 20 tons, at least 20 tons. Now this 20 kilo boy is trying to move that 20 ton wood. You consider him to be a crazy thing? आप लोग सोच रहे हैं कि पागल बनना है क्या? वो 30 किलो वजन वाला बनना है, वो 20 टन वाला ऊँट को ऐसे मूव करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, पागल। That's a normal kind of, the thinking that is there. It's natural. The second thing is that किसी ने उनको बताया कि ये करना है? कोई बताया उनको? कोई नहीं बताया। वो खुद गए, सब लोग इधर था, वो इधर से कोई एक नेता था तो वो कुछ अरेंजमेंट कर दिया कि उधर से चला गया गाड़ी, बाकी लोग तो अपने इधर ही बैठे रहे कब तक कोई आए, इसको हटाए, फिर हम चलेंगे। Now this very little boy took the initiative of his own. When we look at the leadership, these two things are very, very central. ये बहुत important रहता है। In our leadership things, when we are traditional forms, सभी जगह बता जाता है कि आपको लीडर बनना है तो 20 कुछ में होता है, गाइडेंस में होता है, सभी जगह होता है कि you take calculated risk, ज्यादा रिस्क मत लो, आपको पहले इसको देखो कि इसमें रिस्क कितना है, फिर उसके हिसाब से अपना प्लान बनाओ, फिर इसके हिसाब से चलो और आप पहुंच जाओगे जहां आप जाना चाहते हो। दूसरी चीज जो है वो सभी पूछते हैं, अगर मैं इसको करूं तो मेरे को क्या मिलेगा? ये दोनों चीज वाइटल होता है। What is in it for me and should I not take a calculated risk? Just to the opposite, ये जो छोटा बंगला था, it was phenomenal risk. 20 किलो वजन 20 टन की ऊँट को धक्का दे रहे, phenomenal risk. Second is never thought कि ये अगर करने से मुझे क्या मिलेगा? What is in it for me? It was not there. Leadership, when we talk about the personal level, is basically the bringing out the inspiration within you, bringing out the inspiration within you. So the first thing that we need to look at. Can we go to the next part? This I have got. Yeah. Can we do the next? जो ट्रेडिशनल लीडरशिप स्टाइल होता है, जो ट्रेडिशनली लोग बोलते हैं ना कि अच्छा लीडर है, ये सब कुछ हो रहा है, nothing very well doing. Normally come across the traditional style, leadership style होता है, उसमें 6 B's होते हैं, 6 D. पहले D होता है doing. Doing का मतलब है ना, I will give an example. मैं एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ। मैं जब इंजीनियरिंग कोर्स करने के बाद मैंने एक कंपनी ज्वाइन की थी, उसका नाम था मैकिंटोश वर्ल्ड लिमिटेड। ये कंपनी नहीं है, कंस्ट्रक्शन था। तो पहले हमारा जो जॉब मिला था वो एक साइट पे हम लोग गए, वहां पे कुछ कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा था एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर साइट इंजीनियर जो था, तो मैं उनके पास गया बिकॉज़ ही वाज माय रिपोर्टिंग बॉस। तो उनके पास गया, उन्होंने बोला कि आप बताइए, वो एक स्ट्रॉन्ग रूम बन रहा था बैंक का, दैट वाज वेरी cumbersome kind of reinforcement which needs to be there. तो उन्होंने सब कुछ बताया, ऐसे करना है, इसके बाद ये स्टेप होना चाहिए, इसके बाद ये होना चाहिए, इसके बाद ये होना चाहिए, मैंने पूरा हिस्ट्री बता दिया कैसे कैसे ये होना चाहिए। तो मैंने बोला कि ठीक है, तो आप चलते हैं, अभी करते हैं इसको। पर नहीं, तुम बाहर नए आए हो, अगर कुछ हो जाएगा तो जिम्मेदार तो मुझे ठहराएगा ना। तो डूइंग का स्टाइल यह होता है कि आपको सब कुछ बता देगा, लेकिन कर लगा देंगे, तुम तुम्हारे ऊपर हमारा भरोसा नहीं, तुम क्या कुछ काम अलग से कर दोगे तो उसमें मेरा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, ये हुई लो। सेकंड जो होता है वो औरत से इससे खतरनाक होता है, वो है डंपिंग। ये भी एक्सपीरियंस क्या होता है कि आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जाओगे, हिम्मत से काम करोगे, तो कुछ ऐसे बंदा आपको मिल जाएगा जो आपके ऊपर सारे काम ठोक के चला जाए। वो बोलेगा कि क्या ये आपका मामला है, आप इससे निपटो, मेरे कुछ आता जाता नहीं है, मेरे को सिर्फ ये होना चाहिए, काम हो जाना चाहिए। ये एक स्टाइल होता है, वह है डंपिंग स्टाइल। फिर उसके बाद आता है द नेक्स्ट वन व्हिच इज कॉल्ड ड्रॉपिंग। ये भी एक खतरनाक स्टाइल है। ये भी मैंने वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से किया, वो है ड्रॉपिंग। वो आपको मैनिपुलेट करता है। देखो आपका जो भी इवैल्यूएशन होगा, जो आपको रेटिंग होगा, जो आपको इंक्रीमेंट मिलेगा, वो सारी चीज मेरे हाथ में है, मैं उसको डिसाइड करता हूं। अगर आप ऐसे नहीं करोगे तो आप जानते हैं ना क्या हो, मैनिपुलेशन। वो है ड्रॉपिंग वाली जो स्टाइल होता है। फिर उससे थोड़ा आगे जाता है कि ये लोग सबको बुलाते हैं, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देते हैं। किसी एक का बंदा कभी नहीं सोचते कि ये बंदा जो है, ये दिस पर्टिकुलर वर्क कैन बी डन बेस्ट बाय दिस पर्सन, वो ऐसे ही डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देते हैं। इंडिविजुअल कैपेबिलिटीज जो है उसके ऊपर ध्यान देना, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। फिर उसके बाद जो आता है वो है डेलीगेट। ये भी है कि हम डेलीगेट करते हैं, इंडिविजुअल्स को मानते हैं, फिर सबऑर्डिनेट के साथ भी काम करते हैं, डेलीगेशन की प्रोसेस करते हैं, सब कुछ देखे चलते हैं। And the last thing is called deputizing, which is the last. क्या करते हैं, ये अपनी जो सक्सेसर जो बनेगा उसको घूम करते हैं। अगर मैं इस रोल पे हूं तो नेक्स्ट, अगर मैं ऊपर मूव कर जाऊंगा तो नेक्स्ट जो आएगा मेरे रोल पे, उसको हम कैसे तैयार। तो दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल इज deputizing. ये 6 D's ऑफ द ट्रेडिशनल लीडरशिप स्टाइल्स हमने देखे हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, जो आज भी कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में फॉलो करते हैं। ये तो ट्रेडिशनल की बात कर रहा हूं। Second, the leadership that we are talking about is the leadership which needs to be there in organization, and for that, as a person, you also need to become a leader and steer the organization from a good company to a great company. Would be something very different from this. Then, और ये होता है कि हमारे जो so many literature subject, बहुत सारे किताब लिखे हुए हैं, सब कुछ है हमारे पास, बहुत सालों से बहुत कुछ है। और जब तक ये थिंग इट कम्स फ्रॉम द वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड, जो बाहर को कोई आदमी ना बताएगा हम लोगों को कि ऐसे करना है, तब हम लोग क्योंकि उन्होंने बताया तो इसमें कुछ ना कुछ दम तो होगा। Stop believing in ourselves. ये एक बहुत ही different kind of thing which is there. So there is one book which is called Good to Great. It is written by Jim Collins. Jim Collins को एक बंदा देख रहे हैं Good to Great, तो उस किताब में उन्होंने बोला है एक चीज, उसका नाम है pragmatic या authentic leadership. जिम कॉलिंस ने एक 20 रिसर्चर का टीम बनाया था और एक डिकेड यानी 10 साल उन्होंने कुछ कंपनी के ऊपर स्टडी की, और स्टडी करने के बाद उन्होंने क्या किया है, उन्होंने कुछ उसका नतीजे निकाले, कुछ एनालिसिस निकाले उसका, और उन्होंने बोला कि कुछ कंपनीज जो अच्छे कंपनीज वो बहुत अच्छे बन गए और कुछ कंपनीज जो अच्छे थे वो एकदम नीचे चले गए। वो जिस पैरामीटर्स में ये सारे कंपनीज को रेट किया था वो है आपका टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे यूज किया या फिर स्ट्रेटेजी क्या बनाया या फिर बिजनेस प्रोसेसेस क्या है, ये सारे जो मुद्दे हैं इसके ऊपर उन्होंने काम किया। एंड देन he found out that there were some companies who had gone from good to great. That's what the name of the book is. And some companies have gone from good to worse. Now, after doing that, उन्होंने ये बताया कि अगर जो कंपनीज फेल कर गया है तो उसमें लीडरशिप पर क्या क्वालिटी और जिन्होंने अच्छा कंपनी बनाया from good it has gone to a great company, उसमें क्या लीडरशिप स्टाइल, तो दोनों को कंपेयर किया। So when we looked at this particular companies from good to great and those companies from good to worse, there have been a lot of differences that were noticed. So first we'll go to the failed leadership, जिन्होंने कंपनी को डुबाया, ठीक है, गुड से वर्स हो। पहले उनका लीडरशिप स्टाइल क्या था ये पहले एक बार देख लेते। इस कंपनीज में एक चीज आया, जो सीईओ था, जो एमडी था, जो भी कुछ भी था, दे थॉट दे आर लार्जर देन लाइफ सेलिब्रिटी फिगर। उन्होंने ऐसे एज्यूम कर लिया कि हमने जो बोल रहा हूं, हमने जो कर रहा हूं वो एकदम बिल्कुल सच है and we are something which is larger than life kind of thing. ये स्टेटस है। पहले उन्होंने सोच में डाल दिया कि हम larger than life। I-centric leadership, everyone could come to me as if I would be sitting over there and I would be only, giving the directions. जो मैं बता रहा हूँ वैसे। I-centric leadership, करिश्मा। पहले हम लोग सोचते कहा लीडरशिप क्या होता है कि करिश्मा होना चाहिए। Now this charisma is an asset as well, it is a liability. We'll talk about that. The charisma is not a very good thing. ये लोग क्या बोलेंगे? ये लोग ये बोलेंगे कि हम लोग ने सोचा है कि आप लोग सबके साथ लीडर के साथ बैठेंगे और बोलेंगे कि हम लोग सोचा है कि ये करना है। मतलब यह होता है कि पहले तय कर दिया क्या करना है, फिर सारे लोगों को बुला के उससे बोलेंगे कि हाँ आप ये हाँ से हाँ मिलाओ। So they say, have their say, but they will get a buy-in. सब लोग हमारी बात को सुनेंगे। So it comes to I-centric leadership. मुझे कहना है कि a genius जीनियस है जिसका 1000 हेल्पर्स है, वो सब लोग उसके आसे आजू बाजू में घूम रहे हैं। वो नेता को आप देखते हैं ना, एक नेता है कि बाकी सारे बहुत चंचल है, but then I resist myself. They are all like surrounded by them. So in those companies, I don't want to name the companies, but still there are some companies like Teledyne, Double-Click, and such companies who have failed miserably because of this particular thing. So this is one side that you could find out of a detailed long research. Now we go to something where the companies have done well. So can I move on to the next? So here, what he is talking about, ये जो कंपनीज यहाँ पे बहुत तरक्की की है, जो लोग चेक किए हैं, उन्होंने देखा कि इसमें 5 लीडरशिप लेवल्स, जो हायरार्की हम बोलते हैं, जो पिरामिड आप देख रहे हैं, उसमें 5 लेवल्स। The lowest level ये बोलता है highly capable individual, जो लेवल 1। इसमें क्या है? They are very good, having knowledge, skills, practices. As an individual, you always need to have knowledge. Knowledge होना चाहिए, skills होना चाहिए, so you become capable. That's the stage 1. Then next, you go and actually contribute to the group. तो अगर आप individually काम कर रहे हैं तो उसके बाद over there unity team. So whenever you are asking, when there is a team which is formed, you are also contributing to the team. पहले उन्होंने निश्चित किया था, बाकी लोग join किया. So it formed a team and they are contributing, which is more of a contributing team member. So if you are doing that, you are contributing team member. फिर उसके आगे लेवल पे गया, फिर उसके उन्होंने direction दी. It's like more of a competent manager who try to organize resources, mobilize resources. तो resource होता है organization, machine, everything जो होता है उसको organize करके तो वो becomes a competent manager. फिर एक vision जो होता है, vision दिखाते हैं तो उसको हम बोलते हैं कि effective leader. There's a vision which is created. And the top level of the leadership, what he is saying, is called an executive leadership. जहां पे दो चीज उन्होंने मेंशन किया है, एक है इंटेंस विल और दूसरा है पर्सनल ह्यूमिलिटी. What he is saying, only two things above all these things what he has mentioned in the up to level 4. Two more things he has added: intense will and personal humility. So ye just let us go to the next, and we'll have a video play over here, I believe. If we go to the next, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Absolutely. So when we are talking about this, we are talking about these two things. Now we have come down to leadership of
1979.
Let us look at this video. Watch this video. We just stop.
SLU-3 satellite launch vehicle. I was the project director, mission director. My mission is to put the satellite in the orbit. Thousands of people worked nearly 10 years. I reached the Sriharikota and it's the launch pad. Countdown was going on. T-minus 4 minutes, T-minus 5 minutes, T-minus 1 minute, T-minus 40 seconds. Computer put a hold, don't launch it. Computer says don't launch it. I am the mission director, I have to take decision. Everything is on. Behind me there are 6 experts. They saw computer database coming in at screen and they see the pictures in the screen. They said there's a problem. The problem is there's a leakage in the system, in the control system. But immediately calculation, no problem. We have got sufficient fuel and oxidation for control system is controls the rocket to the required attitude, and we can go ahead. Now, of course, my expert's view, but I took the decision. Problem's mine. Finally, I took a decision. I bypassed the computer. I launched the system. First stage worked is a 4-stage rocket, and second stage got mad. It went to the spin. Instead of putting the satellite in the orbit, it put in the Bay of Bengal. 1979, it was a failure. It was a failed first time. I experienced my failure. How do you manage the failure? Success I can manage. So at that time, a great man, a great leader, Professor Satish Dhawan, he comes to me, I am very tired working nearly for months. It makes me up, come, let us go for a press conference. Press is meeting there, like this, number of people, world press, with photo, this and that, all the gadgets they are there. I was really frightened, I will be the culprit, because I am the project director, mission director. What Satish Dhawan said, Chairman, Indian Space Research Organization said, dear friends, we have failed today. This is the first time have to give all the success, all the failure is, I want to support my technologists and scientists and staff so that next year they succeed. So he took the whole blame himself. And then media asked, you have put Bay of Bengal so many crores, you are putting like that, lot of criticism. He received the criticism. He assured them in a year we will succeed with our team. It's a very good team. Next year, here only interesting happened. Next year, July 18th, 1980, when he succeeded, Professor Dhawan said, you go and conduct the press conference. You follow what it means? It means when the failure occurred, the leader took it up. When the success came, he used his team. That's the first.
सामने देखो what the video conveys to us, क्या बोलना चाहते हैं our Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Then we are बात कर रहे कुछ बहुत अहम चीज हम आगे
Speak up. A good leader never takes the success on himself. He takes the failure, encourage the team.
So this is basically what we look at is absolutely correct. इसको हम एक चीज बोलते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं window and mirror approach. Window and mirror approach. When 1979 this PSLV, the satellite launch was an utter failure. नहीं हुआ. तो पूरे से लोग आ गए, सबके ऊपर इतना मुझे हो गया कि आपने इतना पैसा खर्च किए, करोड़ रुपए खर्चा हो गया, फिर उसमें कुछ नहीं. तो सतीश धवन साहब की उन्होंने गए और उन्होंने फेस किया, तो उसमें तो नहीं चलता. और बोला कि ठीक है, अभी इस साल हम लोग नहीं कर पाए, लेकिन अगले साल हम तो करके दिखाए, ये टीम ही करके दिखाए. And in 1980 we actually launched that in success. विंडो ये होता है मिरर या फिर जब सक्सेस होता है, सक्सेसफुल हो जाते हैं, तो विंडो को ओपन करते हैं और ढूंढते हैं बाहर कौन कौन है, कौन कौन है जो इस काम में शामिल हुए हैं और इसको सक्सेसफुल बनाए. लेकिन जब ये फेल कर जाते हैं तो अकेले वो एक मिरर के सामने आके खड़े हो जाते हैं और मिरर में कौन दिखता है, सिर्फ उनको ही, तो वो ही दिखता है. तो लीडर जब सक्सेसफुल हो जाता है, the leadership that we are talking about, the credit goes to the team, but when it becomes a failure, the responsibility comes to the leader. That's the leadership that we are talking about. Now, if we look at this particular thing and we look at that, this is what we look at as a more of a window and mirror approach, it gives a different dimension to the leadership. So, Dr. Kalam is the leader that we are talking about. Can you go to the next slide, please? I will not go to the entire video of it because there is no, obviously it is a long video. But I will just narrate, maybe start with a little bit of it, but I will narrate the story in a very brief. There is a girl called Paralima Sinha. I do not know how many of you have heard of this particular girl. The national volleyball champion, okay, in 2011, member of that.
She's from Jharkhand, sir.
Yeah.
Physically,
yeah.
There was an accident because of which she lost her leg.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So she was traveling from probably from Lucknow to Delhi or something like that.
There was a great accident and because of that.
So there are some kind of rooms that there actually forced her and she fell out of the train on the other track. और वहां वो तो पड़े रहे और 49 trains went like over the track throughout the night. Lost both her legs. Obviously, throughout the entire day, you find 49 trains going over. You can imagine how much pain that she was actually as well too. Now, this particular lady somehow survived. I do not know how she survived. She had to survive. Yeah, she had to survive. And later on, some people came in the morning and took her to the hospital, and then she took around 4 months to, recover. Though had done for the artificial kinds of, prosthetics and everything like that. Then after 4 months, when she came out, where did she go first? Yes, louder. Yes, she climbed. She went, when she came out, she went to someone called Bachindri Park. Have you heard of Bachindri Park? She went to a house and told her that I want to climb the Everest. तो बचेंद्री पाल ने बोला पागल हो गए हो क्या? आपको दोनों डरने नहीं है. It's all artificial that you are born with severe pain. It takes so much of time. People normally would have some kind of other job and then settle. भाई ऐसे तो और जिंदगी में और कुछ नहीं कर. And then she took the challenge and said, I will do that thing and I will do it within 2 years. And actually in 2013, she climbed the Everest and she made it happen. When we look at these particular example, when we are looking at the level 5 executive leadership, I talked about intense will. This is the intense will which I am referring to. So this is the intense will that I am referring to. This is absolutely something, if you are not having a kind of leadership quality, you are not able to survive. Then there's a little person inside, just the 4 person. There was a similar guy, I'm not going to the video because of the paucity of time and everything. But then there was another case where there was a particular model, bike racer, say. He also met with an accident, and the entire thing from the chest down were paralyzed. Now, this particular person, I'm not going to give up. मैं ऐसे स्थिति में नहीं हूँ कि मेरे ऊपर ऐसे मेहरबानी करके किया तो मैंने आज कुछ मिल गया रास्ता पानी मेरा चल जाएगा ऐसे में जिंदगी दी मुझे तो कुछ करके दिखाना है. And then after so many 2-3 years of struggle, he did it. Someone put him, some fellows actually put him on the bike, strapped him all together with the bike. There was nothing that he could feel below the chest. Everything was put down the bike. They had the dispatches and everything, the gears and everything, to operate by your leg. So that did what on the hand kind of brakes and everything. So with that, he managed to actually professionally race and do the bike race. And when he was asked, जब पूछा गया कि कैसे आपने ऐसे कैसे कर दिया, बोला कि मेरे अंदर तो कुछ है, मेरा अंदर कुछ है जिन्होंने मुझे बताया, आप अगर अपने ऊपर विश्वास रखेंगे और करें करके दिखाएंगे तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. Anything that you can do. And this particular case was given to a group of CEOs. तो सीईओ ने कोई मीटिंग होता है तो बोला था कि आपने क्या देखा इस फिल्म पर। तो the CEOs were divided into 5 groups, and in each of the groups they say, go to this one. So उन्होंने बोला है कि there are something they have said, all of them are true. Say he is a bike racer, a person who is paralyzed below the chest. When you look at this is a physical level that we talk about. Physically तो वही है, handicap है. So this level when we are talking about is called the physical level. Physical level, whenever we are saying, then there is something beyond that when you are looking at it. If the person with this physical ability, disability, that I would say, he could succeed. There was something much more than that. Ultimately, it pointed out that you need to have an inner kind of a force that you need to have, which prompted you or prompted him to go and do like that. So when we look at this thing, we look at that there is an intense will along with some kind of inner development which needs to be. Now, inner development, whenever we talk about everything, what happens, everything, in our, in our philosophy, Hindus, philosophies and everything, we have the Vedic things. The Vedas, there are 4 Vedas. Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Upanishads, there are 108 Upanishads which are there. ये सारे चीज जो हम लोग बोल रहे हैं, जो हम दिखा रहे हैं, कि आपका अंदर कुछ होना चाहिए, आपको बाहर से जो भी आप देख रहे हैं उसके आप physically you have become physically disabled. It doesn't matter that you have got the strong intense will, then you can do anything that you can do. ये सारे चीज हमारे बहुत दिन पुराने, everything is there in our Gitas, Vedas and Upanishads. It's only the thing that we have failed to realize that thing. Nothing more than that. We have failed to realize it. The only thing that we have done is that we have listened to the Western people. क्योंकि वेस्टर्न लोगों का अगर भी कुछ बताए तो हम सीरियसली लेते हैं। फिर उन्होंने अगर वो हमारे तरफ से कोई बता रहे तो हम इतना सीरियसली नहीं लेते, ये हमारा प्रॉब्लम है। We admit there is a problem. Now, when this happens, ultimately, when you talk about the inner development, it's all there in the Gitas and Upanishads and Akil. Then in Gita, there is a thing which is being saying over there, and I mean, the time partners are there, and we'll be talking about, and I will be ending with that thing. There is a theory based talking about there are 7 chakras over there. 7 chakra होता है जिसको it's about part of that meditation आप बोलते हैं, तो वो 7 चक्र आप मेडिटेशन बोलो, आप गॉड बोलो, आप कुंडलिनी बोलो, आप योगा बोलो, आप जो भी बोलो, आप जिस नाम में उसको दे लो, उसमें कोई अंतर नहीं। The first that we have in the 7 chakras is called the Mooladhara chakra. Mooladhara. That means if you have had that energy, that kind of energy level, you would only seek food and sleep. आपको फूड और स्लीप से आगे कुछ नहीं आपको समझ गया, एनर्जी लेवल नहीं करना है। फूड एंड स्लीप का थोड़ा ऊपर जाने को बोलते हैं स्वादिष्ट। स्वादिष्ठाना और जहां भी आए घूमने चले, ये चलो मूवी देखे, ये करे वो करे, ये प्लेजर जो है ये आप करिए, दैट इज मोर ऑफ अ स्वादिष्ट। दैट्स द एनर्जी लेवल दैट यू हैव। एवरीथिंग वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एनर्जी। When you go to the next level, probably you will be having money to that, where you will be a doer, you'll be trying to do something, you exert yourself. From there, if you go to the next level, it's called anahata. Now here you become a little more creative, artistic, things would come up. From anahata, you go to the next level called vishuddha. Here you try to influence, gather some more kind of a vision, and you have that kind of understanding. Beyond that thing called abhinav. Now that is what we call as inner development, that stage where we actually try to be there. When you have that abhinav, you become a character who is intellectually realized. That means, अगर आपको उस लेवल पर आप एनर्जी को लेके जाएंगे, तो आपको एक ऐसे स्टिमुलेशन एक्चुअली ऐसे एनर्जी लेवल आपको मिलेंगे, जिसमें आपको सब कुछ एक टर्म जो है ना स्थित और भी मीन्स विजडम, स्थित मीन्स इट्स अ इक्वालिटी मेंटल इक्वल्स, तो आपको विजडम उसी लेवल पे हो जाए. When you look at all these leaders, no, I wouldn't go for the place over there because of the power cuts and everything. There was a leader called, nobody has heard of it, called Darwin Smith. Have you ever, anybody of you have heard of Darwin Smith? It is not Charles Darwin in the house. Only combined name. So Darwin Smith बोल के एक बंदा था जो एक कंपनी का सीईओ बना 1971 में. The company's name is Kimberly-Clark. Now Kimberly-Clark का भी नाम हम लोग सुने हैं, लेकिन अगर हमने बोला अबिस बोल के एक डायरेक्टर है, तो लोग बोल, तो वही कंपनी है Kimberly. ठीक है. 1971 से 1991 तक वो सीईओ बने रहे इस कंपनी. 1971 में जब उन्होंने ज्वाइन किया था, तो उनका जो वैल्यू था, उनका जो कंपनी का स्टॉक का वैल्यू वो था $5.30. 1991 में जब उन्होंने छोड़ दिया कि उन्होंने रिटायर कर दिया, तो वैल्यू चला गया $40. It's a 8 times of appreciation which is happening. जब उन्होंने सीईओ जो ज्वाइन किया था इस पे 2 महीने बाद जैसे उन्होंने सीईओ ज्वाइन किया, उनको थ्रोट और नेक कैंसर डिटेक्ट आफ्टर 2 months of job. Doctor said he would live for less than a year. He lived for 25 more years and steered that particular Kimberly-Clark from a good company to a great company. Whoever competitors said you can find it, Procter and Gamble, Scott. Later on, Scott was actually taken by Kimberly-Clark. लेकिन उन्होंने फाइट किया both at this level and that level because they have got an intense level. And the second what we are talking about is the personal humility. When you talk about the personal humility, एक जर्नलिस्ट ने उनको पूछा था कहीं कि आप जो जैसे आप चलाते हैं कंपनी, तो आपको इसको मैनेजमेंट स्टाइल के कैसे डिस्क्राइब करेंगे? तो मैंने बहुत सोच के बोला कि you can call me eccentric. मैं पागल आदमी, जैसे मैं ऐसे चला के no one future, never you are heard of any management who is executive talks about darkness. This is the level of personal humility that you have in order to, along with its way, to become that kind of thing. So when we sum it up, and I probably have taken a little bit of more time, I just have 4 minutes left if I am looking at, because 11:30 to 1 is maximum that I have. And then given to talk. If I take more, it will be pick me up. So anyway, so if we sum it up at the individual levels that we are talking about, 1, you need to have that spontaneous reaction to the problem without thinking what is in it for me. That is one quality of the leader. Second, that you need to have an intense will. Okay. Third, that you need to have is humility. Humility. You want to become a leader. To say that I am a leader and people tell me, follow me, nobody will come. Another thing, three more things which are there. Here is a collaboration. Sometimes talking about the key. कोलैबोरेशन आजकल की हम लोग क्या करते हैं, व्हाट्सएप करते हैं, फेसबुक सब लोग करते हैं, और ये ट्विटर वगैरह सब करते हैं। किसी ने फेसबुक में मेरे पिक्चर को लाइक क्यों नहीं किया, इसके ऊपर वो बोलते हैं। अजीब सा ये है। आप मैंने पोस्ट किया, आपने लाइक क्यों नहीं किया? लाइक करने से ऐसे कुछ हो जाता है। Do you think that is a collaboration? Collaboration नहीं होता है जब मैं, आप और एक कॉमन ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है, तभी कोलैबोरेशन होगा। दोनों एक साथ को कॉमन ऑब्जेक्टिव से हम लोग काम करेंगे, तभी कोलैबोरेट करेंगे। So the collaboration is very very important. Then होता है execution. Someone say leaders show the way. वो बोलते हैं ना कि हमको रात गाते का कैसे चलना है, वो सिर्फ दांत दिखाने वाली बात नहीं है, आपको उनके साथ लड़के काम भी करना पड़ेगा। एग्जीक्यूशन इज समथिंग व्हिच इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। एक बार पर्टिकुलर मीटिंग दैट प्रोफेसर brought your heart for Professor Ramcharan, very well known award professor. उनका एक हमारा इस क्लास में there was a school called Shiv Kumar. This is also very known because in the industry is very known. He is the CEO of so many companies. एक बार रामचरण जी उन्होंने लेक्चर दिया था, उन्होंने ऐसे सेशन दे रहा था। शिव कुमार told him that this is a strategy that we want to follow to make the company successful. तो रामचरण जी ने उसको रिप्लाई दिया था, हम बहुत कुछ जो है कि आप लोग शिवा कुमार, आप लोग जो सोचते हैं ना, वो 50,000 फीट लेवल पे सोचते हैं, और जो काम करते हैं वो 5 फीट की लेवल पे काम करते हैं। यानी जो मार्केट में जाके वो काम एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, वो 5 फीट की लेवल पे है, आप 50,000 फीट की लेवल की बात कर रहे हो। उनको वो सब समझ में नहीं आया। अगर आप वो 50,000 से 5 फीट लेवल पे आ जाए, उनके साथ जाके काम करें, ताकि वो उनको समझ में आए। The execution is back to that extent that you have to do. And the last thing which I will end the session is the ownership. Is the ownership. Success हुआ तो मैं इसका सारे क्रेडिट ले लूंगा, फेलियर हुआ तो मैं दिखाऊंगा इसके लिए फेलियर हो गया, तब आप लीडर कभी नहीं बनोगे। Rather, the window and mirror approach is where the ownership is there. So that is what I could understand out of my experiences working in some of the companies, some of the books that I have gone through, some of the literatures that I have followed, and some of my friends and their wishes that I have interacted with. So I will come to the end of it. Thank you very much to all of you for listening.
Thank you so much, Professor Dibyendu Nandi. It was indeed a wonderful session with real examples, like Arunima Sinha and all. It was very, and it was really interactive session. आप लोग सभी इस सेशन में मौजूद थे और सर का क्वेश्चन का आंसर्स भी दिए। It was a really great session. तो एक बात तो आप लोगों को ये बता दूं कि कुछ चीजों पे बिल्कुल हमें ध्यान केंद्रित करना है, क्योंकि देखिए मंजिल उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है। मंजिल उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है। पंखों से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है। आप सामने हैं, ये हमें अच्छे से पता है, आप हमारे विद्यार्थी हैं, तो थैंक यू सो मच। May I request Honorable VC sir to have to say a few words before vote of thanks by our registrar sir. So Honorable VC sir, please, over to you.
It was very interesting, inspiring, and insightful session. The kind of examples Professor Dipesh Nandi has taken, they are all wonderful. Starting with Dr. Abdul Kalam and various leaders they have demonstrated. Not only the leaders from the industry, हमारे बगल में और एक लीडर है, क्रिकेट लीडर है हमारे राज्य में, महेंद्र सिंह धोनी, वो भी लीडर है, हाँ कि नहीं? Because leader does not mean only in the industry or university or काम कर रहे हैं. He can be or he or she can be from any field. Sports field में देखे थे, we have seen the cricketers, we have seen hockey kind of leaders into that. We have seen them, how they lead the teams, particularly when they lost. जैसे सड़क डॉक्टर अब्दुल कलाम का सबका सड़क कहानी दिखाए थे. We have seen MS Dhoni, how he has come back, from kind of losing matches into that, and he took the blame himself. He said, "Yes, we'll build up and come back into that." And वैसे हम तो religious leaders को दिखाए थे, because it will not be only for profit, only for money, because we have seen various types of leaders, and जो sort of points the sort of the Professor Dipesh Nandi have तो दिखाए थे, all of them they are all worthwhile by me. लीडरशिप का जो क्वालिटीज होते हैं वो सभी क्वालिटीज हम तो अपनाना चाहिए. एंड दे मे नॉट हैपन इन वन डे, धीरे धीरे हो जाएगा, बट डेफिनेटली उसको हम तो अपनाना चाहिए. बट यू शुड नो दैट sort of starting with simple things like a time management. So you can earn money, but you can't earn time, isn't it? Time तो चला जाएगा. You can't hold the time, isn't it? एक सेकंड, एक मिनट, एक घंटा तो होल्ड कर सकते हैं नहीं, तो टाइम तो चला जाएगा, बीत जाएगा. So starting with time management, having good values, having determination, and working together in the teams. अरे सभी चीज they are all sort of अनमोल themes हैं, अनमोल characteristics हैं. तो हम सभी चीज हम तो अपनाना चाहिए. And I would not like to stand in the way. अभी तो सर lifetime तो हो गया था. I was so thrilled to see all of you. I'm unable to join you personally today. Otherwise, I'm joining into that. And I'm so happy that we are coming back to normal. लेकिन एक कोविड एक चीज हम तो सिखाए थे. कभी-कभी when somebody is unable to join like me, at least I can participate like this. इसके पहले वो option नहीं था. And now this option is there. Sort of now when we are getting used to that blended kind of environment, and that's something very good. And before sort of I end, I request Dr. Subhi Chattopadhyay. Dr. Subhi Chattopadhyay is an accomplished leader. Not only he has superannuated as a director of projects and also CFO in a very large engineering consulting company, Mecon. And after that, he was Professor Naim Ranchi, and he is our professor. And last time, ये तो financial statements like बड़े सारा ये session ले लिए थे साहब. So मैं request Dr. Subhi Chattopadhyay can give your message to our the budding leaders. We have got all the young, energetic, and enthusiastic leaders. So tomorrow we are going to see the leaders. Leaders like Jack Welch from the GE, leaders like MS Dhoni, leaders like Dr. Abdul Kalam. Sort of you are all going to be the budding leaders in the area that you choose to become successful and want to take a profession. I can see the leaders coming from you. Are the leaders like Dhirubhai Ambani? Why only work in a job or sports? You also can become an entrepreneur like Dhirubhai Ambani. Today, in fact, Reliance Industries is the largest one in the market cap and largest in so many industries. वो सभी चीज आपसे देख सकते हैं. And I wish all our students all the best. Sir, over to Dr. Subhi Chattopadhyay, for a brief message to our students. They are waiting to listen to us.
Thank you very much, sir. First of all, I would like to congratulate Professor Nandi for such wonderful session and this Good to Great book, which was very popular by Jim Collins, and he has very nicely explained to the student in a lucid manner, which has given a lot of insight. But I would like to just, for the student, I would like to say one or two words because Professor Nandi has covered everything. I have nothing to say more, but I would like to tell one thing that, sir, you rightly told the leaders need not be from the industry. Even we respect Mahatma Gandhi as a leader, Gautam Buddha as a leader, even this Nelson Mandela as a leader. They are leaders in their different fields, but basic characteristics, the inspiring characteristics, and the followers who will follow them, those things are basically common for all the leaders, the way you told about MS Dhoni and others. But the main important thing is that the concept of leadership is originated from India itself. If we see or read the book of Arthashastra by Kautilya, Chanakya's Arthashastra, there the concept of leadership was given in long back. So it is not very much new to Indian context because the leadership concept was originated from in India from this one. With the passage of time, it has changed. It has changed to take care of the environment and all those things. And the way Professor Nandi told, there are some other good books are also there, which will, I can refer one book that is Who Says Elephants Cannot Dance? That is by Louis Gerstner. The Louis Gerstner who just joined IBM when IBM was about to sing. People used to say that it is a white elephant. It will sing automatically. And he just turned it around and he wrote a book where he just mentioned, yes, even with the proper leadership and strategy, elephant can dance. And another book I would recommend the students if they get opportunity by Lee Iacocca, who was fired from your Chancellor. And the book is Where Have All the Leaders Done? That means how the leadership is being depleted. So then we can, the students can also feel, yes, this is the depletion of the leadership. It has to be enhanced, and our budding leaders, budding managers, budding leaders, they will definitely come out with a lot of leadership acumen. So I thank you, sir. I thank Professor Nandi for such insightful session. All along I was listening, and thank you very much. I wish all the best for the students who are now they're going to be budding managers. Actually, they are budding managers. They are going to take the charge of managerial position with their external leadership. So I thank all of them for such wonderful session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So Dr. Subir Chattopadhyay sir, and especially special thanks to Honorable VC sir for giving all of us an opportunity to listen regarding leadership, the crux of leadership, the main reason to be a leader. So it was a great, really a great session. Now we are coming to the end of this session, and now may I request for a formal vote of thanks. May I request Registrar sir, respected Registrar sir, please come and your vote of thanks. So please. Respected VC sir, respected Dr. S. Chattopadhyay, my dear boss, and guest of honor for today's industry expert lecture series is Professor Dipendu Nandiji, my colleagues, and my dear friends, students. Today is a very, very important day in the history of the industry, because after so long, I think after 2 years, we are going to have this offline kind of guest lecture in our campus.
We started this series long back, industry interaction with students, so that our students come to know what industry is looking for in them, right? They come for interview or then you go for internship. So what industry is looking for all the budding managers? So such insightful industry experts sharing views with you all is going to benefit you all a lot, and I think today's session must have contributed a lot. I thank Professor Vivek Mukherjee for his valuable time, his insightful lectures, and very interactive session with you all. And as a token of our appreciation, I please remember if 5%.
No, this is called the virtual reality. Virtual reality in action.
Just a few, one or two words from my end to end the thing. I would say it's a kind of it's an honor for me being here. I thank sincerely our Honorable DC Sir for giving me this opportunity. Our Register Sir, Professor Chantopadhyay over there, all the faculty members and everyone, staff over here who have, made it possible for me to interact with such wonderful students over here. I do not know what I could do within this 1.5 hours time. Because I do not know how much I can do the 1 hour's time. I have tried to be in touch, to be in contact with you, to have some kind of interactions with you. And I will cherish this particular thing very long and hard. And I will say thank you all. And at any point of time, if you need any kind of support, I will be there to help. And thanks very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
It was a wonderful session. All of us cherish.
Thank you so much, Professor Devendra Nandi sir. It was indeed a wonderful session. And thank you, all of you. Indeed, there are a lot of audience with us today. Offline as well as online. Great. Thank you so much, sir. With your kind permissions, and we close the session.
Yeah, please. Thank you. All the best to all of you.
Yeah,